There's a reason that their interventions tend to end up being useless, harmful, and tyrannical. That is, a lot of what happens in these communities are things that evolve, that get selected for, because they tend to encourage the continuation of that community. Why might they end up to be useless, the interventions for these righteous communities? Well, if they were really useful, if they had this little button they could press and make it go away, suppose that they did, well, those righteous communities would suddenly wisp away. There would be no righteous communities anymore. There'd be no need for it, because it'd be something really simple and effective that could be done, and the community would disappear. Communities are going to avoid those. Not that individuals per se are trying to avoid it, but the communities will select for policies which are potentially useless, because the ones that are not useless are going to make those communities disappear. So communities that persist over time get better and better at picking policies which don't, in fact, solve the problem they're trying to solve. And I said they're going to be harmful as well. Well, they need to be harmful, and not just to those in the outgroup, which they're happy to be harmful toward. They even need to be harmful towards themselves, because those who are righteous need to be able to point to actual harms that they've undergone. Look, I've done these sacrifices. These harms are the sacrifices that we, the righteous, have done. Without those harms done to those within the righteous community, you can't show that you've sacrificed. And finally, tyrannical. Even if there were ways of doing what you needed to do with consent, well, when you put in laws, civil liberties violating laws, new kinds of edicts, right? Those in the righteous community don't think of them as civil liberties violating at all, because to not do the things that the righteous people are saying to do is now taboo. So no one thinks of it as civil liberties violating any more than, not wearing underwear and pants at all going to a restaurant. We all think that's taboo. We don't even consider that a civil liberties violation. So those within the righteous community, over time, it will select for mandates that mandate the new notions of what is not taboo. And the reason that gets selected for is because those who are not part of the community, those who are against it, that are the deniers, well, they're not going to stand for that. It self-identifies them, because they walk and say, look, I don't want to do that. Now you've self-identified. You are not a righteous member. Each of these three things, being useless, being harmful, and being tyrannical, are things that serve the persistence of the righteous community's evolution.